Okay, guys, I have to know
What?
the heck is going on here. So welcome back to Danganronpa, aka Danganronpa, and we are starting off chapter 6, even though we're still technically on chapter 5. But I'm going to treat it as chapter 6 because that's that's how I see it. So we've got Makoto here. The massive high school towers over all of the other buildings in this bustling urban. This feels like it's going back in time, like back on the time, wait. Okay? It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. The Hope's Peak Academy. I feel like either life is flashing in front of our eyes, or we are retreading back through his timeline as he's dying. It brings in top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. I mean, what can I say? Hope is pretty big. There are two things you need to attend the school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. Even though we've technically already read this at the very beginning of the game, I'm gonna read it for this sake, because there has to be a reason behind why it's doing this, right? And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. So we are retreading through? What? Where am I? Broke over my head. Why do I feel like it's fast forwarding through the events of the chapter 0? I think it's called chapter 0, or like, you know, the prologue. So not chapter 1 yet. Woke up with my head resting on the top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on here, eh? Okay, so brand spanking new. Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body starts to come back together again, and then, first of all, we have a Monokuma on the right, in some sort of barrel, and the Monokuma looks like it's just a sort of bomb sort of thing, and we have a door right in front of us. So I'm assuming that this is where we are currently, rather than going back in time and seeing something new before we blacked out. I'm assuming that this is like now, as we're not actually dead, which doesn't really make much sense because of the fall, and I'm assuming that we, like, you know, splattered, you know, facing the floor, so I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. You see, like, the whole, like, dream theory, are you even able to, like, smell in dreams? It's interesting. I've always been interested in, like, the whole concept of dreams. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across this, I thought I could see, all across the area. This was to be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No. I can't have that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. So yeah, this is now. I remembered all too well what had happened. Oh. You know what, I thought you meant Kyoko, but... Okay, technically she did save you, but not, you know, in that situation. She unfortunately voted for me. I'm assuming that everyone voted for me. Thing is though, it sort of confirms my suspicions when we had that dream of the individual with the knife, because I thought that maybe something must have happened, because we heard something, so something must have happened, and the only thing I could think of was that Makoto might have, and I was hoping that suspicion wouldn't come true, but it may have. It's so hazy, the communication between me and the protagonist. Anyway, Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was starting to look for a way out of here. Absolutely. And I know that there is absolutely zero reason for me to do this, but I am going to do that anyway. Monokuma, hello there. That's a rocket and a tank. Makes sense for the military. I'd better not think too much about that what I'm seeing down here. I mean, there's also a Monokuma thing where... But okay. What about over here, though? Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in his... This is all military stuff, which coincides with, the Ultimate Soldier, so... To say that the Ultimate Soldier isn't the mastermind here... Wait. But this is everything to do with the Ultimate Soldier, right? Why would this stuff be down here if... Okay, well, you know what? I guess the only other thing that we can do is literally right... Wow. Okay. Right in front of us, let's go. Bro, you gotta be joking me. Stopped. No matter how many times I fucking pushed, or pulled, or kicked it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not gonna get out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink? And which ones... It's a gamble. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough to... not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. Just like GLaDOS, I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was... go to sleep. Yeah, I mean, what else can you do? My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. With the absence of noise around, well, maybe there is noise, but I just can't hear it myself, but with the absence of noise around, yep, that was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep. And sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to... Yeah, however, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the... A strange sound pierced my silence. Come on, man, I'm trying to sleep then! As I watched, the pile of garbage just... Oh no, shit. Something fall down over there? Something fell up from up above. What could it have been? And why now? There's a giant piece of trash. I thought I was gonna say a giant piece of shit. A giant piece of trash just fall down here. I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged. Wait. I am, like, beyond confused right now.
It smells awful.
One, what are you doing down here? Two, I'm glad you're down here. But still, going back to one, what are you doing down here? Cargo?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to... I mean... Yes? But how? How are you here? And how do you... It said like you knew that I would be alive and... Wait, well, mostly alive, but how? Did you know that this was going to happen? I'm glad to hear that, Cargo. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. Okay, she gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Why, thank you for the supplementary. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water she was holding. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way to my... Thank you for the description. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy in the world I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course. I'm glad. Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But still, how did you get down here? Why are you here? I mean, I get you were here to help me, but why are you here? Bakako, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Oh, no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was... What was the lie? Am I missing something? What was the lie? The only thing I can think of is... what she said before the trial and how that connects to the key being in her room. But I feel like there's like a lot of missing information. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. Well. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same to you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter... Sure, okay. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to... So you weren't taken here, you actually came here willingly. I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
At least I did once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. Oh, that's fucking great. You forgot? But that's preposterous. That's abhorrent. That's despicable, Cargo. You shouldn't forget. That's downright insane. I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? But that's impossible. Then, is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? I remember a lot of things. You're the one that's not able to remember a lot of things. Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? I mean, I remember what happened to me. I got like knocked. No, I didn't get knocked out. I went into like a hazy... It went all hazy, and then I sort of woke up. In the classroom again, but... So yeah, I kind of remember that first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. You know what? That's a similar feeling that I've felt before in my life. When you're like waking up, but you feel disconnected from yourself. It feels like I don't know, like an out of body sort of experience. It feels weird, and I hated having it. So even though it's probably not the exact same here, I can sort of relate to a level.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. That sucks. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. I feel like your ultimate ability is ultimate... Either ultimate mystery solver, problem solver, case solver, or ultimate investigator. That's my guess, at least. Yeah, especially from what I've observed of her actions. But what would make you forget all of that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? Why does the mastermind want to do anything, huh? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. Investigator. It has to be. But I'm willing. I accept to be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong. But I firmly believe it's investigator, ultimate investigator. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
It could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But then again, if you're disconnected... Are you disconnected from your personality? Or are you just disconnected from your memories? If you're disconnected from your personality, then for all we know, this personality of Coco is very different from the personality coming to the school. But maybe if the personality stays intact, then yeah, once again I believe it's investigator personality. If what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. Technically, yes. Technically, it's Bike.
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Of course. Also, one more thing. How are we not dead? I mean, I'm thankful that we're dead, but how are we not dead? The mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? I mean, as much as I'm a very, very trusted individual, why me? Because among everyone, among us, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. They were just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right though anyway. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
Oh. Oh, is this why?
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
So are we reflecting back on what this dream of what this dream is, or is this us saying it to ourselves? Oh, okay, so it reflecting back on the dream. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah. It's totally nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others. Right.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Don't talk to her again. You said you had a reason for doing all of that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was finally able to recall my... Do tell? You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. Okay, so what I said wasn't exactly the same, but it's more or less. I just, like, the word wasn't exactly in my brain for it, but it's very, very, very similar. Detecting is literally like investigating, so I wasn't wrong. After all, I was like, oh, fucking right, yes, yes, okay. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hype's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. Who?
So...
Well, it was... Did we even need to ask that? Of course it would be the fucking headmaster. The headmaster? Well, why did you want to find the headmaster of all people? Of all the things, this I did not see coming in the slightest. Wow. I suppose it makes sense. It definitely makes sense why the mastermind would take away the memories. Or at least why the mastermind would interject. Tamper with the memories, at least.
in other words...
I separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Host Peak. Kako's dad. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find the way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster.
No matter what?
So,
My memory hadn't come back at that point. But when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. Okay? I only said what I felt, based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor, using the key. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Map.
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety. Okay. Found it in the headmaster's room along with Makoto's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight. Staying overnight. Ooh, boy. Why does that remind me of, like, actual, like, job environment? Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Konami as well. I figured the mastermind, headmaster would have some kind of proper room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a proper room there?
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? It's hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. The the hell do you mean?
So,
I can't explain it. You'll have to see for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance to soon. Okay. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Yeah, she tends to have that effect. Once it... Okay, why can't you just like immediately go in? I guess it's to take a little bit of a break from the dialogue for you to like save and like process everything maybe. But I don't know, it's a tiny bit of a nitpick on my part. Okay.
however,
Of course, once I got to the second, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. I was so preoccupied with investigating the area, it was unforgivably careless of me.
however,
It has to do with Makuro, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. Neither did I! And I know it wasn't you either. Okay, good. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then, who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the clash trial of Makuro was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed,
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the clash trial. The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
that's right.
You are free to explore Host Peak at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the clash trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind is somehow bound by the school. The mastermind is the one that created the school rules, but even they have to abide by it. Just like Monokuma has to abide by it. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Makuro. Which is, there was a point when Makuro may not have become the victim. Huh. I could have?
indeed,
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... Yeah, I can hear them, you know. You hear the voices? The footsteps of the god of... What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this. Interesting.
anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. Oh, that's why you were there. I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. I intervened immediately, of course. That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct,
And their murder was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. Again, Barakuya had your key, so it's clear that he put the key into your room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the clash trial to eliminate... I have the feeling that the mastermind is Barakuya. Because who else is willing for the game to continue than Monokuma and Byakuya? I've said from the start. If I turn out to be wrong, fair enough. But I've said from the start, it was my... Okay, not from the start, but it was Byakuya. So all this would mean whoever killed Makuro is also the mastermind, right?
indeed,
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. But wait, Doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the Clash Trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
That is a contradiction. And it's not just Makuro. They needed the Clash Trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other one? There's no doubt that Makuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. Even though every single ultimate is one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. If you look at it that way, that does actually make sense. You're talking about
That's right.
the tragedy, yeah. The despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all. Holy shit. The extremity here. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. That is our real enemy. 100-mile dash, pain of a junk food junkie. The it's still 6. Nobody's digest. Oh my god. Dream Island Rocket, thank you very much. Yeah, sure. The ultimate despair. Yep. The same people who put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. Yes. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
Anyway,
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Imagine, I want to see Monokuma's face when he finds out I'm still alive. I know Monokuma knows somehow, but I wouldn't think he does. I guess we're going to talk to Kaya. I need a Kayakuma. Kako, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part of it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Yes. Can we use that key of yours?
It's true.
Let's find out. Let's fucking go. Now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. Made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even any time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up to the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea where we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Reminds me of a scene from Doctor Who. Oh my goodness me.
Sickness!
Yeah, I'll be careful. But for now, but now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. I would too in this situation, honestly. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off of it. Why? Okay. So Kawako, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. You are a young Sherlock. Hell fucking yeah. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh. But how come? It's like your family's tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things. You know, I wish a lot of people were like this, neutral, but unfortunately you've got like one side or the other side, or far one side, far the other side, and it's just like, can't we just like come together and just, you know, be peaceful about things? Like, come on! And to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Yep, it's also what you call sort of like being critical, like critical thinking, and just, you know, being on your own rather than being categorized in a certain group. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, I was looking up info about the school, and I never saw it. Concealing yourself, yeah. And yet, I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak Academy, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true kitty detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is to reconnect with your dad. There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you'd be reunited after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. He's the one that abandoned me.
However...
There is something I want to say to him, though. Fuck you. No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
Yep, that's exactly what I thought. The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. A bit like a little bit of someone that we know of in this group. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented. He had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply just... ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. It makes sense, like, I'm not saying this for everyone who gets abandoned at a young age by their father or mother, but certainly a lot of people who get abandoned and find out about their parent at a later age, some of them don't have much of a problem with reconnecting, but the others would rather just stay away from the parent. So yeah, it makes sense. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in my work. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. So I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. You should be able to tell at least verbally, how she might be feeling about that. You don't need to always use facial expressions to tell how someone's feeling. I can see how she looked when she said that. She might have been feeling. Again, verbally you should be able to tell. What I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative. It's because she trusts you, of course, and more emotional. Confiding in you, me. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's just not true.
However...
But there's just one thing. One thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But then, when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how even they see me to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle for the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me all those years. But your family, it's just... No, Makoto. See, like, I actually understand where she's coming from, whereas you're... Again, he's young, so maybe he doesn't fully understand quite just yet.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? Absolutely not.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Family is more to do with caring about the people around you rather than the blood relations. Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. Sometimes you shouldn't say anything. I would admit this a lot though. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. After I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Is this the garbage compactor? Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of the store, House Speaker's waiting for us. We're back, baby!
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the... Okay, so... Well, I thought it was a garbage compactor, but no. I completely forgot about that trapdoor, but no, that makes sense now. I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reach my hand out. And so? Looks like we're back. Oh, that was me talking. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Fell, brother. Fell. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Homespeak Academy. Castle, thank you. I would never have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary, I was just returning the favour. Well, you know what? On that note, I'm going to save my game. And obviously I'm not going to call it quits there just yet. I'm going to take a break and see you all soon. Alright, hey everybody, I'm back. So, I guess this... Has the door always been like that in the trash room? I'm gonna assume it has, but okay, we are back here, and I suppose we should just talk to Kako again next, right? So, now what do we do? I'm glad that I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you two. You helped me, so they might.
Listen.
You're worried? Yes, of course I'm worried, Kako. Yeah, of course.
So then,
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escape. I mean, I'm sure that'll go perfectly well. Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we're found out. It's not like we can run away. It's not like we can escape. As she said that, she pointed at a nearby. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
because
Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. Mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before, but what does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. And that is why Monokuma ended up like that, right? There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm. I doubt that will be the case, but we will see. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. What's the little... No, it's super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
It's like she could hear my thoughts. Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Sure. I mean, does she even know about the Monokuma thing that had the bomb? I'm surely she does, because it was mentioned during the class trial about the fragments of the bomb. So surely she must know about that, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and leave. This is gonna go interestingly. So, I'm wondering if they're all in the gym. I suppose we can go to the dining hall to see if they're there.
Shall we go?
We need to get to the gym to... Maybe I want to see our friends first. And maybe they're in a... Fine. We'll go according to your plan. I mean, maybe they'll be in here. They probably will be actually in here, because maybe it's like the most logical, or the more sensible place for like Monokuma and everyone to be. Maybe.
Well now.
Hey. Kako, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
Pung!
You're supposed to be punished. Did Kako help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule.
Making me angry!
So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kako,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. But
However,
before you do, let me just say one thing.
Now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey!
You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this clash trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be the one chosen as the blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about now?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. I'm still a little bit confused about what the lie was, but okay. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right,
And in response to that unexpected development,
indeed,
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto as the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well. Stunned. Speechless.
however,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you... But still, how am I still alive? Like, okay, sure, the thing that was meant to kill me was the thing, you know, crashing down. But still, that was a super long fall. How did I survive that? That part doesn't really make much sense to me. Like, unless... there is nothing here. There's no information here to suggest how Makoto survived. So I need that explained, like, pronto.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did.
Listen to me.
I love how Monokuma is just completely silent now. So executing Makoto for it surely would be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying that blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, this is where it gets a bit iffy now. Don't just say it like that. What is this? A comedy routine? To make such a bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I can guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth.
Pung, pung.
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution, he would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. For just a moment I kind of forgot that this was being broadcast, like, everywhere. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square, that rhymed,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again? Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Okie dokie. A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this will be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept this challenge? They would probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change. So I'm guessing that he didn't listen to a word she just said because getting super easily bored like that. Sure, okay. Now, what you've just suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Doesn't mean that you accept.
You guys!
If we do things your way, that would be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause your unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot of this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is... You know what, I thought he'd be done by now, but of course he wouldn't be done, because he's entertaining himself. And trying to entertain the viewers as well. I mean, if you can entertain yourself and the viewers, that'd be nice. That's cool. But... I just think he's trying a bit too hard.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's plying around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
You guys!
then you win. If you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? Alright. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I can't believe how all of this has turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one sin kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Makura is no exception to that. Huh? Because it's no exception, then it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but... Okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why'd it go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry!
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad?
Whew.
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. Jeez. You really gonna let me go? I don't even... You don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. So Makoto's... Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. Just like that, we were at the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. We lived! I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. For now at least. Once again, I was in Karako's debt. Karako, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. True, yeah.
whew,
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. Just because he did a lot of puns doesn't really mean he accepted it. He jokingly accepted it, but doesn't mean he accepted it. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, did they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said. When was that?
so,
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school to the out. I thought some Monokuma did. Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Yes. Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to.
in other words,
But think of it this way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason?
so,
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would seem,
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Makes sense. Those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. Why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. A point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. Okay? You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that. To try and prove that despair is better than hope. Right. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody, but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you. And yet, the same motivation is what led me to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind wouldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
Tiny thing to nitpick here. Sorry to sort of cut away from this, but tiny thing. When you're referring to like one person, why do you do it as themselves rather than themselves? It's like I see it so often, and it's sort of like it drives me up the ball sometimes. Like not too much that I don't really point it out, but when you're referring to like a single person, you should really say themselves and not themselves, because I don't know, it just sounds weird. You're doing themselves as in like multiple people. I don't know, it's just a tiny thing I wanted to point out. That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their rules. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the clash trial, following all of their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
But we're saying that Monokuma is a mastermind, but he was never... I will admit, all of this exposition is really confusing me, and it's hard to keep up. Because most of this is literally just a bunch of exposition to explain to the viewers, like, what's happening. Well, it's attempting to explain, like, it's not really, per se, confirming anything, because, you know, we've still got a bit of time within this chapter to, like, confirm with, like, Monokuma, mastermind, and stuff like that. But because we're sort of theorizing why, we are attempting to explain, and therefore expositioning the situation, and when it's just mostly just words, it's so hard to like keep up, because it's really hard to like do exposition with words and keep the viewer engaged. So I apologize if I'm struggling to keep up with any of this. To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Yeah, well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue, because we're small-brained. In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was just making a bet, but it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I suppose. Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
however,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it will cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but how? But now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really? Well, 100% not with Byakuya. And especially not with Toko.
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere, shall we? Sure thing. Well, you said that they're in their dorms, but I would assume that they would be in the dining hall, because that's where they usually meet up. So I'm gonna try the dining hall. Then let me guess, she's gonna stop me and go to the dorms, right? Oh no, she doesn't. Okay. So, anyone here? And suddenly we were greeted with... I think it's safe to say that Monokuma is either glitched or he's broke. You again. Definitely broke. I think so. I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Oh my god, what the... Oh my god. I gotta admit, this game really does have its comedic moments, and it really does hit. Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah!
Is that Makoto?
Love this immediately. Like you don't get like. You don't often get, like, I don't know, art or cutscenes like this, and it's just so, oh, I love it, I love it.
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it, that's Makoto!
Isn't Hiro gonna say that's a ghost?
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
Apparently so.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
But I tell you, what did I tell you? Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, this... Sorry guys, we were in the garbage disposal area. Sorry about that. It smells like a wet dog. And in a flash, my tears dried up. Yep, quickly as that. Well then, I'm gonna talk to Kaka first, because why not?
Makoto,
It's now time to indulge in an extended, happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
it's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last clash trial.
Huh?
The last trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Makoto's trial.
Huh?
Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? Then shouldn't I be dead if I killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. And who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
Apparently not you, Byakuya. She's saying the mastermind killed Makoto?
That's right.
It was all an elaborate trap, contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop, and did what he had to. The fact that you got two twos like right next to each other, it just throws me off every time.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? Make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
However,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have... One thing I'm really confused about is we're talking about the mastermind using like they them, and yet we've talked to Monokuma and used like he him. It's just so strange. Like why? But okay.
Huh?
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm talking in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kayako to explain it later. What do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makura, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery? But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh,
Everyone?
I hate you!
Who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Every single person feels the exact same way.
anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
Figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Makuro and all the school's mysteries. It's a pretty freaking order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is. So if we're to work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we will solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh?
I
can't agree with the idea of I mean, neither can I, to be fair. Well, especially not Byakuya and Toko. You can't agree? Well, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? It's a very polarizing approach, I know. Here's the hint. I told you this, but killing game with 16, all of them high school students. The only people to take single step in Host Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? I think Kayako's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Makuro, as Kayako says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Yeah. Monokuma could probably murder Makuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Host Peak are the 16 students who have been taken part in it. But I mean, Monokuma has also set foot. So what, you're saying that he's also innocent? There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. And Makuro and you get 16. One of them?
that's right.
One of those 16 people we started out with. The way only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Did I continue or do you get it now?
What?
No way!
Can't be serious. Okay, I didn't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's only a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And there is one possibility we can ignore. Ultimate despair, so there must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. If one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Stuck off and controlled him in secret.
but...
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times. Would you though?
I'm right?
Maybe Monokuma was on autopilot, maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. You could say in a sentient way. In that case, there's no way he could have all of those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. My goodness me.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Okay.
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Excuse me?
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Okay, that's interesting.
Hmm?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms. Again, we're using him. Yet, the way you were talking about the mastermind, you're using them, but you're talking about the mastermind as if the mastermind is Monokuma. But yet, again, it's so confusing.
That's fine.
The time for talk is now done. Now we need to begin our investigation. I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
Yeah. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Okay. That's cool.
Hey.
Do you blame him? Rest of you are like... Right. Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kako?
Indeed.
That's right. Dang. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see, I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power. Yeah. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves. What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
I mean...
Up until now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Huh?
Makoto? That's really nice of you to say.
But...
Still, no, I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Good luck, Hina. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Wow. Okie dokie. Well, I mean, what more does Kako have to really say to me? So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Coco?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together. Oh.
so
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I could just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. That's right.
so then,
I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before. Oh, that was me talking. Yeah.
Makoto,
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. Goodness me, I'm itching it quite a bit. With that Kako is gone. Leaving only me. Me, myself, and I. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. Investigate. I guess I would start by taking another look at Makoto's Monokuma file. The victim's identity is unknown. Well, the victim's identity is no longer unknown because we know it's Makuro. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body, but we know that that's not true. Apparently, they had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a... Oh, yeah. Okay, so that part is true, though. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several... Oh, right, the wounds were several days old, yeah, okay. Once we find out who killed Makuro, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up. Yes, Mastermind's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gates was down before, they should be open, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Ha! Nice, okay. That will certainly help me out. And you know what, on that note, I'm going to end off the video here because I want to spend the rest of the next video investigating like absolutely every single thing. And then I suppose the last video is going to be the class trial and then, well, the ending of Danganronpa. That feels weird, honestly. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time for more investigatory detective stuff. See you then.